Oh, Daniel, you totally made my day with that comment because sometimes I figure, well, what am I going to do when the background music, the intro music is going on so my hands just sort of do wow over the keyboard? Thank you for noticing. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together with live news from our city, state, and country, with comments, ideas, and suggestions from you, and all kinds of fun and helpful and productive and inspiring information we can get our hands on to connect more closely with each other here at Coffee and Headlines here in Puerto Vallarta, and to connect with our city, our culture, our way of life. And today we have a little bit of all of that and then some. So I'm really excited for the news. There's a bunch of interesting stories to share. And we have stories about swimming competitions. We have stories about visceral reactions. I had a visceral reaction this morning, or maybe it was late at night. I don't remember, but I had a visceral reaction, and I'm going to tell you all about it. And what else do we have? Well, we might as well just get started. But first, as always, welcome to the broadcast. If you're watching new for the first time, feel free to let us know by writing the word new in your comment. That way we'll give you a nice little welcome. And if you have something really important that you wish to share with everybody that we don't want to miss, it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment. Otherwise, I might think that you're talking among yourselves, which is lovely as well. Let us get started. And I start with this one. Can you imagine swimming 35 kilometers to get from the Marietas Islands to the Malecon? That is going to happen next month. No, in November. What am I talking about? Thanks to Mexican open water swimmer Stephanie Montero Bending, who has announced a competition to swim the distance and to benefit the whales that make Banderas Bay their home every winter. According to the news item, the event will begin on November 18 in the evening, which means that they will swim at night. How crazy is that? And swimmers will take approximately 12 hours to reach the Malecon the following day. And if you think that's crazy, the response to the event has been overwhelming, with 108 teams from 20 different states, along with competitors from other countries that are already signed up. On the whale conservation side, the event is represented by Astrid Frisch Jordan, a very well-known and highly regarded whale-watching environmentalist who oversees EcoBac, which is a local nonprofit. It is called Ecología y Conservación de Ballenas, or Ecology and Whale Conservation. And it is worth mentioning, there was an interesting fact that I learned from this announcement. Needless to say, one of the big challenges that nonprofits have is not only to provide safe and well-regulated whale-watching experiences for those of us that are here in Puerto Vallarta, but also to help rescue whales when they become entangled with fishing nets that shouldn't be there in the first place. And it is worth mentioning, and I learned this morning, that every time a report comes in of a whale that is entangled in fishing nets, it costs approximately 15,000 pesos between crew and vessels and fuel and other incidentals to set a whale free. And just last year's whale watching season, 13 such specimens had to be set free. So this is something that we don't think about on a regular basis. You know, it costs money to get these done. So I think it's absolutely wonderful that this fundraising event is going to take place. No, I would not, I don't think I could swim to the corner of the block if I wanted to. But I certainly hope that much more information will be provided and that we will get the opportunity to be at the Malecon to welcome the swimmers in the competition. In a related news, volunteers from the swimming competition found themselves cleaning up trash and debris from the Marietas Islands in preparation for the event, where much to their surprise, they found, among other things, a discarded refrigerator that was floating in the area. So hats off to anyone that is involved in helping clean the environment. And I will leave you with this other news item in the show notes, along with a Facebook page for the swimming competition and also the Facebook page for Astrid's EcoBack's organization. EcoBack is a great organization to consider if you want to go and get close to whales here in the Bay in a responsible manner. Whale watching season, of course, hasn't even started, but this is a great beginning of the season. And now we have a Tómala. A local judge reached a plea bargain through which he will now have to pay fines after abusing his power in the case of a policewoman who was physically assaulted by two motorcycle riders after stopping them for an infraction. Apparently, her injuries were major, but the aggressors, which were taken away, were released prematurely by the judge. So by the time the policewoman went to press charges against them, they were already gone. So any victory, needless to say, she filed a report against the judge, and the judge is now going to have to pay fines and pay money to help her deal with her medical recovery, and also pay money to a local nonprofit organization. So that deserves a tómala. Any victory against a corrupt judicial system is worth celebrating in my book. And that, of course, is the end of our first block of news. Let us turn over to the weather forecast just to see what is going on out there. And let's put it up on the screen. Snarky Weatherman says, I think about the Roman Empire approximately 14.7 times per second. I wonder what that is in reference to. But let us take a quick look at the numbers. It is 30 degrees out there right now. Humidity is at 76%. Our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 86 degrees. Our weather forecast for today says we're going to have partly cloudy skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon. A chance of rain of 18%, a high of 33 and a low of 26. Then tomorrow, Sunday, partly cloudy skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 46%, a high temperature of 32, and a low of 27. And we begin the work week, and it will be October, by the way. It'll be October tonight. Not October. It will be the fall season. Fall begins this evening. Anyhow, Monday, we're going to have partly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. A chance of rain of 61%, a high of 32, and a low of 26. Moving right along, it is Saturday, and Saturday we take a second to appreciate all of you who have chosen to support Coffee and Headlines by pursuing an ongoing membership. And today we have two anonymous contributors that have joined us, one as a clusterite. Thank you, Anonymous. And of course, also one as a cluster angel. Thank you, Anonymous. We really appreciate this. We'll talk about support in a second. And of course, first, we are going to mention our community partners. We choose 5 community partners every year. Actually, we've only done it once, but soon enough, we will be choosing 5 community partners for the next year to hold our hand in exchange for ongoing recognition. And of course, this year's community partners are Apache's Martini Bar, a fun alfresco bar perfect for people watching in the heart of Emiliano Zapata. We have Best Cord Cutting TV, a locally based television service provider offering you hundreds of local and international channels. We have Hotel Mercurio, a fabulous place to stay if you are a member of the LGBTQ community. Bistro Mercurio, which is Hotel Mercurio's own independently branded poolside restaurant, which is open for everyone and anyone to enjoy, regardless of whether you're a guest at the hotel or not. And lastly, we have Joint Co-working Hotel, a beautifully appointed hotel located next to the Rio Quale, where you can also find state-of-the-art co-working facilities, and where, of course, I have the pleasure and the privilege to teach my music appreciation presentations. And now I want to tell you about a movie that I am so excited about. And I have information about this film just in case you want to get giddy with me. This is about Mexico's flamboyant wrestlers, a new movie showcasing the world of macho Mexican wrestlers, which also includes exóticos or exotic wrestlers that represent the LGBTQ community, is out. And I am itching to watch it. The film is called Cassandro, and it features celebrated Mexican actor Gael García Bernal portraying the eponymous real-life wrestler. As usual, I doubt that the film will make it to the local screens, but it is also available through Prime Video, and it is out already to watch. The Guardian has published an awesome article that in English that dives deep into the world of Mexican exotic luchadores while promoting the film. I mention this here for 2 reasons. Obviously, because of the LGBTQ factor, but also for the overall cultural experience of lucha libre in Mexico. I will leave you with a link to both the article and also to the film trailer if you care to watch it. And I see somebody's commenting with a Q. I see that Colleen Clark watched it last night. I hope it was a lot of fun. I'm hoping it's a lot of fun. So I'm really, really excited. Moving right along, I am sure this happened already, but they must have been so successful that Oculto is once again doing a special dinner celebrating the different varieties of corn in partnership with their masa provider, El Itacate. They are doing another one of these, and this one is going to take place a week from today on Saturday, September 30th. I will, of course, leave you with a link in case you want to have a special dinner at Oculto with a menu that features Mexican corn. And then it's nice to see that the ARTeVallARTA Museo friends have announced their upcoming first Saturday of the month event with an actual Facebook event. This makes me very happy because I'm quite certain that they will reach more people this way, more art enthusiasts that will consider attending the event. For those of you that haven't, first Saturdays at the Museo is a great opportunity to meet like-minded individuals if you enjoy the arts, and particularly the arts as they are expressed here in Puerto Vallarta. And I put this photograph of Luna yawning. This is not a visceral reaction, but she's not like, "Meow." But I figured it looks close enough that it will be my own reminder to tell you about my visceral reaction. So yesterday we were talking about these, right? Because there was this man who wanted to connect with the local community but doesn't like Facebook. He has visceral reactions against Facebook. And I was happy because I have visceral reactions. But then I said to myself, keep an eye on yourself, Paco, and, just keep an eye on what pushes your button. And something pushed my button last night because I got a message from someone that is a local business owner. And this person reached out to me saying, well, it's that time of year which I need your support. And I'm wondering what you can do for me to support me in promoting my business because the season is coming. And of course, I had a visceral reaction to this for a couple of reasons. I have a visceral reaction at anyone that talks about the season. It's like, what are we that are here year round? Chopped liver. I just think it's interesting that so many people still have this mindset of, oh, we got to get our shit together because the season is coming, as if the high season was everybody's saving grace. For me, there's no such thing as high season or low season. It's just different at different times of the year. And then there was also this part that, again, so many advertisers or so many business owners just think that support is a one-way street. I wish I would get an email message from a business saying, oh, I'm looking for support, but I would also like to support you. But that's just my own personal pet peeve. All I can say about these things, well, needless to say, I responded kindly to the business. I suggested, number one, be newsworthy. Number two, produce good stories, nurturing positive stories on a regular basis. And number three, engage with the communities you are interested in, whether it is through forums here or whether it is through coffee and headlines or whatever. I think it is commendable that certain businesses seem to have the charisma to do okay no matter what. But when you are a local business and you're just expecting things to happen, not so sure about that. But I do wish much success to everyone or anyone at any point of the year, whether you're thinking about the high season or the low season or the gringo season or the expat season or whatever you want to call it. And of course, we do produce a promotional presentation called Promo Prodigy, which we present every now and then for anyone that is looking to amplify their message. I think we like good stories, and I always insist on everyone and anyone telling good stories because they're a good way to reach out. But enough of that. Let us take a quick look at your comments. So there you have it. I had a visceral reaction. What gives you a visceral reaction? Please feel free to throw it in your comments, and we'll take a look at what makes you react viscerally and what do you do to control your reaction, because reacting viscerally does not have to be something that you aim at anyone. You can just think about it and say, okay, this pushes my button, but it's not this person's fault that my button was pushed. Enough, Paco, enough. Let's see, we have good mornings, and did we have a good afternoon? No, I don't see a good afternoon, but I see good mornings, and I love those good mornings. Yes, jazz hands all over the keyboard. That was fun. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. What are you all doing your weekend? Also, tell me. Today, I'm going to be hooking. I'm going to be crocheting. Angelica asks, how are they going to benefit the whales? Well, I hope I answered your question while I was talking about it, Angelica, but in case I didn't, once again, awareness of responsible weight watching, rescuing whales, these things don't happen out of thin air. It takes resources and research to be able to understand the behavior of the whales and to be able to find ways to protect it. And that is the way the event benefits the whales. Let's see what else we have. Muffin says, it's going to be a good weekend. Just got back from my first solo hour-long walkabout with my two big girls in 6 weeks. Slow and steady wins the race. I know the size of of Logan's doggies. So if you're doing that with one arm, I bow in your general direction, my dear friend. I am so happy that you continue to recover. And I hope to see you soon. Let's see. Chris says, yikes, don't sharks feed at night? What about crocodiles? Don't they like the taste of swimmers? Well, I don't have answers for you, Chris, because I am not an open water swimmer, but I imagine that, they have these things under control. I have seen or read about open water competitions before, and I am sure that they're taking all this information into account. Pirim pam 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 pam. Boom 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 bim bim. Doo doo doo. There's another cue. Thank you, Muffin. I'll give you a whole crash course regarding the Roman Empire reference. It's a TikTok thing. Moral of the story: men are strange. Well, I don't do TikTok because I don't think many of you do TikTok. If many of you did TikTok, then I would do TikTok. Let's see what else we have. Pat says, looking forward to watching this Lucha Libre film. Just read about it this morning. Isn't it fun? Oh, and Colleen recommends it highly. That is wonderful. Thank you very much for that. And yes, what else do we have? Let's see. Ben says, I agree 100% as far as the seasons. No shade. No shade. I understand that there are certain types of businesses and industries that are definitely directly connected to the number of tourists we have in town, and I can understand the seasonal nature of the work. But it still pushes my buttons. What can I say? It's irrational. Let me be. Let's see. Ooh. This has very little to do with Puerto Vallarta, but I think it's wonderful when a new director takes over at a symphony orchestra. That sounds wonderful, Jonathan. If you get to watch it, please let us know how it went. And let's see, Michal, it's time you came back. It's time you came back. That's all I'm going to say. And here's Carmen. Oh my God, here's Carmen. Thank you for sharing Oculto by La Rayan's special event. It's always a pleasure to support you, dear friend, and I hope you are very, very successful. Chris says, when can we expect to see the roving reporter Logan return? That's a good question. We will ask Muffin. No pressure, but we will ask. And I get this in Spanish. Carlos says there is live music every day at the Tile Park. That's good to know in case you want to enjoy some live music. The Tile Park would be a nice place to go. And it's beautiful now. It looks absolutely awesome. And this, my dear friends, brings us to the end of today's presentation. Thank you so very much for joining Coffee and Headlines today. It's the beginning of the weekend for yours truly, and I'm looking forward to a chill day today and then visit with friends tomorrow and lots of Sondheim research to get ready for the presentation this coming Thursday. So have a great weekend, whatever it is that you have planned for yourselves. Keep track of those visceral reactions. They're part of the package, I suppose, but I suppose also the important thing is how do we manage them? And that's enough for me. Have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you again on Monday. Take care.